And welcome to Fear and MDI Talk Life Podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Wow, I'm glad to be here. Yeah, so I'm Fear, and this is my wife, MDI.
Hey, I'm MDI.
Now, for some of y'all, I don't have to explain who we are. We've been podcasting for 10 years now.
Very long time.
Yeah. But we've had several shows, lots of different shows.
We've had a few hiatuses. Hiatus?
Yeah, we took some time here.
We've taken some time off.
Some of y'all will know us from FYFC Studios, which is now back to our brand.
Yes.
We're bringing it back. There was
yes,
a short
we
time
are.
that we did not go as that, but we've done podcasts like Lights Out Radio, Fifth Cast, Fearcast, Twat FM.
Dude, I forgot about Lights Out Radio.
Shit. If anybody's still got that OG, you know, you the real MVP. You've been here with us a long time. Originally we started recording on just a laptop with USB mics, and now we've
that was awful
and shit. Yeah, it was terrible. But anyway, I'm kind of going over any sort of history because like I said, we've been doing this for 10 years. Some of you folks will be like, oh shit, Fear, shut the fuck up. We've been listening for 10 years. We know what you're talking about.
We know what you're talking about. Get over it.
But some of y'all aren't. And so
some of y'all are new.
Yeah, and maybe some of y'all listened to Twat FM but didn't listen to anything else we did. Twat FM, of course, was The World According to Fear and MDI, which was a goddamn brilliant name.
I know. It was my idea. I came up with it.
That's right.
It was brilliant.
No, it was fantastic.
But
it's so
the
good.
Algorithms hated it.
Okay, so if you haven't been with us, you don't know our sense of humor. Be prepared. There's a good chance you will laugh and pee yourself and probably get offended and whatever.
Yeah, if you offend easily, then maybe this isn't the show for you.
We are just we're a couple that have been together since we were teenagers, and we have very unique views on a lot of different things, and we have no problem sharing our opinion on shit. And for a long time, I feel like I know personally I started to censor myself a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the early days, it was the Wild West of podcasting. You didn't have everybody's got one right now. Like fuck every fucking celebrity, every TV commentator's got a fucking podcast now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But back then it wasn't. There was like a couple of people, and then indie podcasts galore. And so that's kind of when we got going. And we kind of got a fan base by saying whatever the fuck we wanted to say. And so we grew a lot, like from 2013 to 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
We had sponsors. We were making money.
We were making bank.
We had merch.
It was wonderful.
It was awesome. We had been invited down to Vegas to meet with a bunch of podcasters.
Yeah, it was like a podcast con, if you will.
Yeah.
That was insane.
It was wild.
I still can't believe we were invited and went to that.
The Why Not Con. I'm going to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they're still doing it, again, because of our hiatus size.
Hiatus.
We're not really in the game that much anymore, but we're coming back. We'd like
to be back in the game.
We want to be back in the game.
Let's go.
And so anyway, fast forward, things fell apart. Originally when we did this, we had a third to our group.
Yes.
Your brother, my brother-in-law.
Yes.
Steven. Everybody
Razor.
would know him by Razor. Yeah. Anyway, we had a falling out. It's all water under the bridge now because unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. But we moved on. We started Twat FM. We did some stuff. We bounced around quite a bit, which is kind of why we do have a pretty unique view on things. Is we've lived in 3 different provinces here in Canada.
Yeah.
We've been all over, except for the East Coast. We haven't really gone out there yet.
That's, I think that's where we should go next.
We should. We really should. Anybody listen to Fearcast? The champ is out there. I've actually had people recently reach out and ask, how come you don't have champ on anymore? It's just not something we're doing right now, man.
He's a very busy man.
He is. He's got stuff he's doing. But anyway, that's kind of a backstory for a lot of stuff. And I'm sure over time that's what we do. We share a lot. Mm-hmm. So we'll share a lot of stuff. And so this first episode, don't base all the podcast on necessarily on this. This is going to be a pretty heavy episode because
they won't all be this heavy. That's for darn
correct.
Sure.
Yeah, usually it's I mean we don't shy away from any topics. It could be something very serious. We're going to make fun of it. We are of the mindset of you can make a good joke about anything as long as it's funny. And I mean, I personally, even sometimes when it's not funny, I feel like it's time to make a joke. And so again, it's going to be a lot of weird jokes, but it'll be a good time, I promise. I don't know. It's weird trying to resell myself after this long, but anyway, this first,
let's just do it.
Yeah, we're diving in. No, we're gonna dive in here. So the last little while, the last couple of years have been treacherous as fuck. From the fallout that we had with Razor and FYFC Studios, and like I said, we stopped talking after that. We'd moved to a couple of different cities, and fast forward to just recently, our life has been extremely difficult
since November.
Yeah. So, and that's why anybody that has been following, and you guys are going to be like, dude, what the fuck? Another show? Like, what do you? Yes, here we're doing another show. But here's why things have been crazy and that sort of thing. So back in November, I received a call from a cousin, actually, I had a friend of mine message me that a cousin was trying to get a hold of me, and this is like a down the line cousin. We don't really talk.
Yeah, haven't heard from her in years.
So anyway, that they're trying to get a hold of me. So I'm like, okay. So I called the cousin. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, your mom's in the hospital. She's been in the hospital for a couple of weeks because you're the only next of kin. You're the only one that can actually get any information. So if you call, then we can find out what's going on with her. So, of course, I'm pissed.
Yeah, well, yeah, they waited weeks.
Because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she's been in the hospital for weeks. And, like, me and my mom have had a really rocky on-again, off-again relationship forever.
Yeah, but you'd want to know if she's ill or in the hospital.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like,
big, important things. Yeah, we'd like to know those.
So, we find out that she's not well, and we should come.
Yeah, she's really unwell, and it seemed that she was. What am I trying to say? She wasn't there. She wasn't herself anymore.
Yeah, the way she was talking, it wasn't her or whatever. So come to find out, she's got dementia, and she's only, she's 29.
No.
Not that she'll ever listen, but anyway, she's under 70, and
yeah, it's really, really young for
really
this,
young.
And it seemed to really happen quickly. Like I talked to her personally just a few months prior to November, and she seemed totally fine. Like she knew who I was. She knew what it was. Everything was going. Like she called to tell me something, and like everything seemed fine. Like she was totally aware and all there. So yeah, it was great. It was a great shock to us that she all of a sudden was just poof, gone.
So yeah, so we ended up heading back to where we're from.
Yeah, we had to hitch a bus and then a plane and then.
So we
live really far north in Manitoba.
In a ridiculous place. Like,
yeah,
it takes an 8-hour bus ride to get to the nearest city.
Yeah.
To catch a flight out of here.
Yep.
and it's an overnight bus, and it is the stupidest
Horrible.
fucking thing.
Horrible.
I
We've
don't know.
talked about it
I was
before on
gonna
Twat
say-
FM.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, we absolutely have.
But anyway, so yep, we do it. We do the thing. We go, and she's gone. She's got to go to a nursing home.
Yeah, like
So-
it was so quickly. Like all of a sudden, we were papers being pushed in front of us, like power of attorney, and it was like, oh my goodness, we're here. Like boom, we're here already.
Yeah, like
Like,
what the hell?
Yeah, it was like we're I just turned 40 in March. You're going to be 40 in about a month.
29.
29, yeah.
I don't
I'm 40
care.
and he's 29. We've been together since we were 16, so figure that.
That math doesn't work.
But yeah, so it was really, really quickly. But it was determined that she was not able to look after herself. She had to be put into a nursing home, and she doesn't walk. She doesn't, use the facilities or bathe herself.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a situation of maybe she could live with family.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
nursing home.
Yeah, she had to
So,
go into the nursing home. So.
That was a bullet to take.
Yeah,
that was a gulp.
There was, and that's what I mean. So then, and this is it's a tough episode because a lot happened in a very short amount of time. So we have to put her in a nursing home. So that then put the burden on me to deal with her house.
Figure out
that out.
Which is supposed to be your house, but she didn't ever fill out a will.
Yeah. Again, hey, so if anybody has,
oh my goodness, yeah,
please go
talk to your parents about them
it.
having a will, please.
Because you never know how quick shit's gonna change, and we always thought there was lots of time, and there wasn't, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it was a mess, and unfortunately, my mom is a hoarder, and I'm talking like the TV show that you've watched. It's like that.
Yeah.
So a big reason that me and my mom have had issues for a long time is because she's a hoarder, and I am not. I'm actually a minimalist.
Yes.
And we would butt heads about that a lot when I was young, and anytime I got a chance, I would throw stuff out. And,
you'd make her mad.
Yeah, she would get very upset. Everything meant something to her, and I was young. I didn't understand. I just thought, she's kooky.
Crazy. Yeah.
And but no, it's not the case. Unfortunately, it was mental illness. She's had it forever, and it sucks. The hard part about being 40 is looking back on your life and realizing things that you didn't understand when you were younger.
Yeah, it sucks that we don't have that compassion or that understanding of mental health issues when we're in our teens and 20s and 30s.
And not even just that. I'm hoping, because there's a big push for mental health now.
Yes.
Which back in like the 80s and 90s, nobody gave a shit.
That was not a thing.
But yeah, so think about how gross those shows are. Times it by 2. And anyway, so we cleaned it up and we got it sold off, and all that was good, but it was hellish.
Oh, it was so hellish. It was
hellish because we hadn't been back in years. Like we talked on the phone, but we had been back, but we never went in the house.
Right. We were there in summertime. It was so nice outside. We stood outside, we talked, and we had some hangout time, and then we went on our way. But yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I'm just hit a pothole. Well, because I thought you were going to go further and then you stopped.
Sorry.
So no, it's okay. So we hadn't been in there a long time. So the first time going back in there after all these years and realizing the filth that your parent had been living in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot. It was extremely overwhelming to go through all that, and we could only stick around for so long because I work and so
Yeah, we had
it's
jobs.
yeah, so
Well, not me, but you do.
yeah, so we took a vacation for a week to go to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then we were talking because so with a hoarder there is a lot of junk, and then there's a lot of brand new things that they bought because it was a deal.
Yeah, it was on sale.
They thought they might need at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
That they never.
She bought Christmas presents that she never gave to people.
Yeah.
Because they're Christmas presents. That's stuff that she would have given to our children or her sister's grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah. So we found a lot of stuff. So that there was a 52-inch, 55-inch TV.
Yeah, it was a big TV
in a box, exactly. Never opened.
Yeah, never opened.
The tag,
but it was from 2017.
Yeah, the tag on it was from 2017. It had been there that long in the box. Nobody did shit with it.
Yeah, just left it.
So we spent the week cleaning / trying to sell off any of the new stuff. Yeah, some of the new stuff.
It was like, what do you want to do with it?
And because of where we live, there's not really an ability to be able to bring it back with us.
Oh, it would have cost
us
hundreds of thousands of dollars to ship stuff back here.
So yeah, we figured it would take about a week to deal with, and then about halfway through the week, we were like, no, we gotta.
Yeah, about halfway through the week, we said, no, we're going to need to take another week.
Yeah. So I took I only get 2 weeks. So I took my 2 weeks vacation to clean up
the grossest house you've ever seen.
I can never explain enough how hard this was. The smell, you'll never forget it.
Yeah. We, because your sister has made me watch hoarders a couple times, I knew to bring Vicks Vapor Rub. Yeah. You put it all around your nose, and then you put on a mask, and then you can't smell it nearly as much. It helps. It helps so much.
I'm assuming I could never.
If you're a nose breather, if you're a mouth breather, you're fucked.
Yeah, you might as well just breathe in your mouth. I don't know that I'll ever be able to use Vicks Vapor.
Oh, I know. It's going to be totally.
That'll be a PTSD moment.
Right?
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we decided to extend a week.
Or stay. Yeah.
And then what?
The next day.
The next day we get the news.
Yeah. So, my brother, Steven, or Razor, as anyone might know him by, went in for his liver transplant surgery on November 23rd. And unfortunately, he passed away on December 2nd. Nothing went right.
As it should have, yeah.
And yeah, so luckily, I guess, we were in Ontario, so we could go to the funeral and everything and say our goodbyes to him. Ironically, we were there already, so that was kind of.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things that if it wasn't the most horrific thing ever, you'd be like, oh, that's good timing.
Oh, nice, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we already extended. That's perfect.
So yeah, and then while we're dealing with having to put Sean's mother in a nursing home and what we should keep for her and what we should put in a storage unit and what we should throw out and all of this crazy stuff, then my brother passes away, and that really knocked us on our asses.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was brutal. So yeah,
no, it's super tough, and so then it was awkward. Anybody that has listened before, we loved Razor. And what happened was just the pandemic. The pandemic kind of caused so much tension.
Well, and that he found out he had liver cancer, and the pandemic at the same time. It was just too much for him.
It was just way too much. We ended up getting into it over absolutely nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
We stopped talking.
Yeah, never spoke to him again, unfortunately.
So
we tried, but he blocked us on everything he could block us on, and
and like I don't even
did not
know.
return emails.
And it's so tough because we'll never know, unfortunately now. But I think we, at least us, me and you, always just thought eventually.
Yeah, we absolutely. There was always that. Oh, he'll come back. I figured he would survive the surgery and be good.
Well, he had survived so much.
He was amazing. He'd survived everything. He'd survived things that they said he had very, very minimal chance of surviving. So
yeah, and so then I think
we just all figured he would be fine.
Well, I think that's not just that, but I think because we had been through all that, and then we get the news that he's actually getting these organs, then
transplant.
I think that it kind of, I don't know about you, but for me, it got this spark like, okay, good.
Yeah.
If we can get his health fine,
absolutely.
He'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that got my hopes up. And then when we found out he passed, it was bad. And
yeah, it was very difficult.
Yeah. So we had to deal with that. Or we're still, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever not be dealing with that.
Grief is, yeah. So anyway, we came home. We were gone for almost 20 days, I think, in that first trip. That. So yeah, we came home and we did our whole, life thing. Everything was good. Everything was groovy. And then in February, we decided to go back and check on your mom. She'd been settled into her nursing home by then. And we thought, we should go check on her, make sure she was okay, make sure she was being treated well. And that trip went pretty well. We got to see her a couple days. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, we got to go visit. It is, I don't even know if you've had a parent with dementia, it's fucking weird, man, because it feels like 1 minute she's there, she's in the moment, you're talking, and the next minute she's seeing things that aren't there. She's talking to you like you as a child, or you are her mother, or
yeah, she talked to me as if I was her mother, and that kind of creeped me out.
Sometimes she acted like that, or she acted like you were a nurse.
Yeah.
I think I called you babe or hun or something, and she gave me shit for
she was like, "That's not your wife."
Another woman. And I was like,
"Oh shit,
okay,
all right."
But so that was good. She was set up. It's a nice place. They seem to be treating her well. It's just very, very difficult being there and chatting with her, and it's very nice, but I can't describe how heavy and draining it is to go
and
through.
We can't call her and talk to her on the phone because she's the delusion, or the dementia takes over, and she doesn't know who she's talking to, and she starts to cry, and it's just it's not good for her or for us. So but it's awful. I wish we could call and talk to her.
I know.
But
I know.
Yeah, it's a crazy, awful thing.
It is. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So
talk to your parents, please, about a will, about what they want.
And get that shit in writing, because it all happens so quick.
Yeah, and when you don't have it, it's just everything's fucked.
So that visit went great.
Yeah.
Then we came back.
We came home.
And so every time, you got to remember, this is a flight and then an 8-hour bus trip.
An 8-hour bus ride through the night,
to go.
So we actually treated ourselves to a half decent the rooms were awful, but it had a nice pool. Anyway, we treated ourselves to a half decent, hotel room on our way back. On our way back home.
How we were.
We stayed in a motel the whole time.
Yeah.
We were in Chatham, Kent. But anyway.
Yeah, you had to battle some of the biggest bugs.
Oh my God, the bug. And that's part of the next part. So We were at this motel. And this bug came out from under the bed. It was like a centipede, but a caterpillar. And it was fucking scary.
Oh yeah, mixed with a daddy long legs. It was like everything.
Oh my God, I don't know what it was. It was the creepiest shit. But he had just left to go to the store or something, and I literally called him and I was like, come back in here, come back.
Yeah, like I thought like somebody was breaking in or something. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh fuck! I don't even turn the vehicle off. I just
run back in, and I'm like, kill that bug.
Prepare to throw hands, and she's like, it's a bug, and I was like, what the fuck? And
I was on the bed, scared to get down.
Yeah, so I stepped on that motherfucker, and he like held my foot up before I could squash him. Like he was a beast. Godzilla's aunt or something. Like it was crazy. Oh
man! But anyway, so yeah, we treat ourselves to a half decent hotel room, and by half decent, it had a pool and a hot tub, which is something that we really wanted. Yeah. After everything we've been through, we really wanted a hot tub. So yeah, anyway, so we go swimming and we had a great time, but I sucked up a whole bunch of water at one point because we were going down the water slide.
Yeah, we were having a hell of a time.
Yeah, we were having so much fun.
And it was just you and I, and there's water slides and there's all this stuff.
Yeah, and nobody else, the whole pool to ourselves.
We were like 2 10-year-olds just fucking.
Oh yeah, we had somebody. Wow. I think I went down the water slide like 4 or 5 times.
Fuck yeah. Can we do it again?
But yeah, at one point I did, I don't know, somehow I twisted in the slide and then I ended up sucking up a whole bunch of water.
Hold on. No, what do you mean like somehow? No. We were being idiots.
We were being silly.
Like, try to go down sitting up. Try to go down sitting up. Like, try to go down this way.
Yeah, do that.
Like
that's
stupid,
true. We were being children. We were having fun. But yeah, exactly. So the only problem was I sucked up a whole bunch of water.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we get on the bus, we make our way home, and the next day I started to get sick.
Yeah.
And I was, just a little bit of a chest cold. I didn't feel, too bad at first. And I figured maybe I'd picked something up on the bus. So, because the bus is like a germ fucking.
Oh, God. So it's an overnight bus. You would think, okay, cool. We just sleep. No, these people think it's a party bus.
Yeah.
So everywhere we stop, they're getting winked. They're getting food. And
they get off at every stop and get all kinds of junk. Yeah. So then once you get rolling again, all you hear is crinkling of bags and opening and closing of pop and, or cans. And oh my goodness, it was just ridiculous. All right. It's always just ridiculous. And they have their iPads. So it's so
oh my God!
Bright.
Yeah, why? I don't know why. Because you can look at an iPad or your phone and turn the brightness way down.
Yeah, you're on an overnight bus, dude. No, brightness max. Yeah, and like 6 of them doing it.
Yeah, so it's like having lights on in the fucking thing. And I get it. Like, be respectful to other people. But 2, why do you need it that bright? That's gotta hurt your fucking eyes.
No kidding. You're burning your fucking ocular.
Holy fuck.
Shit, man. Anyway.
But yeah, so anyway, it's you don't sleep on that bus.
It's a nightmare.
And it's a nightmare bus. So you start getting sick.
Yeah, so I start getting sick, and I figure I picked something up off the bus. I'm like, maybe it's COVID. I gotta try to, ride it out. There's not a lot of access to doctors in this town. So you got to be good and fucking sick before you go to see a doctor. Which I did end up getting like,
have you tried walking it off? What?
Have you tried some sun?
Yeah.
Just spend some time outside.
Yeah, fuck. So you're putting it off because you're like, I can beat this. It
wasn't so bad. It was just a cough, and I didn't have a big wheeze in my chest at first or anything. But then day 4, the wheeze came, and it was pretty brutal. I couldn't lay down in our bed anymore. I had to sit up to sleep. So I slept on the couch for 2 nights.
2 nights, yeah.
And then so that would have been the 6th day. I couldn't do it anymore, and it hit me so hard. It hit me so fast.
You were having trouble, but you seem like you were kind of.
I was okay, yeah.
And then just all of a sudden, no.
All of a sudden, I got up to go use the restroom, and my legs were not mine. They were buckling under me, like they were not solid. They were jello legs.
Yeah, baby horse legs.
And it didn't make sense to me. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So I made my way back to the couch, and I looked at Sean and I said, okay, I gotta go. Like, it's time. I gotta go to the hospital now. I'm something is bad. Something has turned very bad.
So we go to the hospital,
mm-hmm.
and we get in pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, because I was
dying,
not doing well.
And so we get put in the just kind of an open area. There's like 2 spots or whatever. And then we got another guy who comes in.
So yeah, about an hour after I've been there. So yeah, they get me on a bed, and they figure out what's going on, and they do some tests and figure out that I've got bilateral pneumonia, which means pneumonia in both lungs, which does not happen very often, and it's not cool. So they start IV medication right away to try and help me out with that. But meanwhile, this guy comes in the curtain area next to me.
Yeah.
And
he's got a stab wound.
Yeah, he's been stabbed.
And so they come in, and like that's not.
And the EMTs bring him in. Yeah. Like it's not like he walked in on his own.
No. They brought him in. He was also intoxicated.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
I'll throw out a blanket, allegedly, but you could tell this dude was drunk.
No, he was super drunk.
And yeah, so
this was like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we're both like just trying to listen.
It was Saturday, mind you, but yeah, 2 in the afternoon.
So we were just trying to like listen in because it was juicy that this guy had come in with a stab wound, and then like right away the one nurse was like, "Hey, weren't you in here for a stab wound?
Weren't you in here just a little while ago?"
And this dude's like, "Yeah, in my chest."
Yeah, that one was in my chest.
So we're like, "What?"
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
So this guy's been stabbed twice now.
In the last couple months, by the sounds of it.
Once in the chest, and then this one was at like in the back, almost by the base of his spine.
You just missed his spine and his organs. He was lucky.
Yeah. So that was
the first one partially collapsed his one lung.
Yeah.
Is collapsed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is what the nurse said.
Yeah. So anywho, after that they go away. He goes to night because he was loaded. Yeah. And shit, I don't even know where to go. Like I don't.
So after a certain amount of time, they come back in to check on him.
Yeah.
Because they're waiting for the doctor to actually see him. Yeah, this is like nurses and stuff checking over him. And no doctor has been in
and like
to
I don't
see
know
him.
if they just packed it or what.
Yeah, they probably just packed it. They did a quick X-ray because they have X-rays right there.
Yeah.
And found that his spine was fine and everything was cool. So yeah, they were just like, oh, we'll leave you here for a minute. We'll be right back. So they come back to check on him, and he doesn't want to wake up. They have to like bug him and bug him and bug him to wake up.
Well, and it wasn't just that this was the police trying to wake him up.
Yes. To
get a statement, which he refused to give.
He declined. He didn't want to give a statement. He didn't know who stabbed him. He didn't want to talk about it.
But anyway, so we're still waiting to find out kind of what's going on with you, right? Or no. Yes. I'm just trying to remember. So all this happens. So like again, remember, so this is all in a couple of months span. So at this
is February now.
Yeah. And so now this is July, and my brain has started to forget this whole thing. So
yeah. But yeah, so the nurses come back in to check on him. He doesn't want to wake up again, and then he so she's like, we got to wait for the doctor, and he wants to leave. And she's like, no, you can't leave. You got to stay here. And I can't remember how she convinced him to stay, but anyway, she convinced him to stay. So I had improved enough that they moved me from, like, because I was in like a critical room type area. So I had improved enough that they moved me to a regular room where there's, no monitors and IVs and all that shit. So like they were getting ready to let me go home, but I had to keep my IV, and I was supposed to come back the next day, and for the next several days to get my IV antibiotics. So while I'm sitting in this second room, another woman comes into the ER, and she must have been a friend of the guy that was in the room with me, because all of a sudden he's popped out of his bed, he's getting his clothes back on, and he's going with her. And
he's trying to get her out.
Yeah, trying to get her out, but
into.
She's strapped into a chair. It was just insanity.
Yeah, and he's walking around, he's bleeding all over the floor.
Yeah, he was bleeding everywhere, and he ended up leaving.
Yeah, he left.
They didn't stitch him up. He didn't see a doctor. He was like, no, I'm fine. I'm leaving. I walked out. Just walked out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But when you're drunk off your skull, like, you don't feel the pain. You don't feel anything, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, and if it missed everything, then he's just like, meh. Because what was it?
It's just a stab wound.
Was it... Did I see him right away, or was that a couple of days later?
The next day you saw him outside the Walmart.
Yeah, he was outside panhandling and stuff. It's still bloody.
Yeah, still in the same clothes.
I'm like, what the fuck?
So
Tossed
anyway,
him some change. I'm like, fuck yeah, go buddy. Get yourself some Band-Aids.
So anyway, they release me. I come home the Saturday night, spend another night on the couch because I can't lay down because I can't breathe.
Yeah.
If I lay down, and in the morning I'm worse.
It's so much worse.
I'm begging, please take me back. I'm gonna die type. Like, I couldn't breathe. It was really. It was. I can't even express the feeling.
Yeah,
It was.
You couldn't walk.
Yeah, I could not walk. My body was just shutting down. So we get back to the hospital, and they admit me reluctantly. And they put me in a room. I end up in a room with this woman. I never got to see her. The curtain was drawn the entire time, but she would order in every meal.
Yeah, this chick was a boss.
They'd bring her lunch, and she'd be like, no, you can take that away. And then one of her relatives would bring her something else for lunch.
Yeah, McDonald's.
And then she ordered pizza for dinner the one night. And she was complaining that she had heartburn. And it was like, duh, of course you have heartburn. But yeah, she was an elderly woman who was...
Yeah, was that the same night she got the wings? Or did she?
There was one night she got wings. Yeah, one night she was there 2 nights with me.
I was only there when she ordered the wings.
Yeah, the one night was pizza, and the next night was wings. Yeah, unbelievable.
She's like, take this Jello and shit away from me. I got some.
Yeah, she's supposed to be on. Like, the nurse even tells her, you're supposed to be on like a more blandish type diet, and she's like, no, none gonna happen. Get me my wings.
Buffalo hot wings coming in, bitch. Can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, so for the first 2 days, she was there with me. On the second evening, they moved her out to a different room, so I had the room to myself. Although we were enjoying the little bit of entertainment from her, I was not doing well. No. I could not breathe. I was my breathing was very shallow and very rapid, and no matter what I could do, I couldn't catch my breath. And I was repeatedly told that it was anxiety, and I just needed to calm down. And then at some point around Tuesday morning, I think. So this all started on Saturday, and then I was admitted Sunday. So Tuesday morning, I believe, is when I started going septic, because I don't remember anything from then. Tuesday evening, I apparently, because I've seen the text message, I text you, please come back. they're going to let me die. I can't breathe and they don't care type stuff. And so, yeah, he came back, had to fight security a little bit.
Yeah, it was weird. So they got security posted up. I didn't know that I couldn't go see you.
It was like midnight.
Yeah, but when your wife is like, please come back, I'm scared, you go back. And
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I get stopped by this guy, and he's like, who are you see, blah blah blah, and give her a name, and then he's like, all right, and he calls up. I'm like, are you calling her? Like, she's not going to answer the phone. And he's like, no, I'm calling the nurse's station. I'm like, okay. And so he's like, so and so's here to see so and so. What do you think? Okay. And hangs up. I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, oh, I can go up. And he's like, no, you can't go up. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you can't go up. I'm like, well, then we have a problem.
Because I'm going up.
Because I'm going up. So the choice is yours, whether I just go up or me and you have some trouble. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Go on up. Which was cool.
Well, yeah, I believe you told him, like, my wife is really sick and she's asked me to come up. So, like, I'm going up.
Yeah.
So then he was like, you know what, man? Yeah, go ahead. Like, sure.
Yeah, like he didn't want to have any smoke. So he was like, go ahead. Like, just get the fuck away from me. So I go up and you are kind of hysterical, and which is totally understandable now. But at the time, I'm like, holy shit. So I lay in bed with you. I get you calmed down. And you start to sleep. So I was like, okay, like I gotta go. Like I don't want there to be trouble where they kick me out and I can't come back.
Can't come back tomorrow type deal. Yeah, because I was going to be there for a while.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, no problem. I'll see you in the morning. So I went home. I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. I can't remember. And went to sleep as best as I could. And then yeah, so then I got up and got showered and I texted you and you didn't answer. And I'm like, that's not right.
That's not good.
So then I'm getting ready and kind of...
Because this is like 8, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So like there's no way I'm still sleeping.
No.
I'm not that type of person.
No. And,
especially when sick.
So I'm starting to get worried. I'm getting dressed as fast as I can. Like our kids are like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, your mom's not writing me back. That's not like her. Something's not right. And they're like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. I'm like, I don't know. So anyway,
I don't feel like
so I go there and I get there and you are gone. Like you are not you anymore.
I do not remember any part of
it. So I get there. You now have a catheter. You are strapped to the bed.
Yeah, they had me tied down.
There is padding on the floor, and you're just like you're literally like staring in my eyes, screaming, "Help me!" And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? And like, so I just grab your call button and I push it. And as soon as the people come in, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my wife? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And they're like, And I'm like, well, this isn't fucking normal. I'm like, why does she has a catheter now? Why is there padding? Why is she strapped to the fucking bed?
And I had a huge contusion on my right leg, my lower leg, like a huge contusion that hurt for weeks. And actually, if you push on it, it still hurts. And somehow I hurt my middle finger on my right hand. Like I'm talking, the nail was black. I was black under the nail, and the whole tip of my finger was purple and colors, and it took weeks to heal, and it still feels tingly on the tip of my finger. So like I have no fucking idea what I did to my finger. I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
So yeah, between like 2 a.m. and 9 a.m. or whatever it was when I got there, apparently you
jumped
out of bed several times and hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But nobody fucking told me that. Nobody called me at home.
Yeah, that's the part that kind of weirded me out, that nobody ever called you and said like, she's getting erratic. We want to
the one thing that
they're not with children, it's like you have to say, yeah, go ahead, give her a catheter. Like with an adult, it's just, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want with them.
I don't fucking know, but like
it's crazy.
Between the stuff with mom and then the stuff with you, oh fuck. I had a thought and I just lost it.
It'll come back.
It'll
come back.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. Yeah, I found it. So anyway, the fucking most annoying thing that I've heard over the last couple of months with dealing with mom in the hospital and you in the hospital is this baseline bullshit.
Yes. Oh my
Well,
God. We don't know her
what the
baseline.
is. Well, it's not fucking crazy.
Yeah. They were reluctant to diagnose his mother with dementia because they didn't know what her baseline was.
Yeah, whose baseline is?
She's talking to things that are not fucking there. Oh my God,
that's just mom. She's fucking quirky. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Her baseline is a normal fucking human being who talks to people that are there, not her dead parents. Like,
oh, are you sure? Because we don't know her baseline. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
And so same with you. They're like, well, we don't know her baseline. Screaming like a lunatic strapped to a bed
Sweetheart is her baseline.
Is not her fucking baseline. Like, what are you talking about? So I don't know if that's something new that they've added, because I don't remember ever.
Yeah.
Like, when we've had kids, when you've been in the hospital, any of that stuff, not once has anyone ever fucking said anything about a goddamn baseline. All of a sudden, baselines are the fucking biggest fucking thing. I don't know if this is their way of combating mental health or what, but do better. There needs to be more.
Baseline.
Yeah.
I was insane. I was screaming. And like, I am the sweetest person in the world.
Yeah, like you can be funny and you have attitude and you can be sassy or whatever, but
yeah, but that's not
fun. The same as a fucking psychopath. Like, you were screaming at me that you were going to kill me.
Yeah,
that you hated me. You told several nurses you were going to kill them.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, and I had to keep apologizing for you, and they're like, "It's okay, we got it." I'm like, "No, but you don't understand. Like, this isn't her. I don't know who the fuck this is. Pazuzu, like, I need a old piece and a young priest.
Get Pazuzu out of my wife."
Like, it was really heartbreaking, and yeah, and it was tough. No, it's fine, and it's cool. And
so yeah, I went septic, and then I went into something called DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, and it's very, very dangerous, and it can make you apparently very erratic and say crazy things. Some people actually strip their clothing off, and like, there's many different crazy symptoms of DKA. But anyway, I was me.
Yeah. She was begging for help, and because I wouldn't help her, then she wanted to kill me. And like, I was trying to make light of it. Like, you'd be like, I'm going to kill you. And I'd be like, honey, wait till we get home. Don't kill me now. And like, just kind of trying to play it off. But at the same time, like, shitting my pants, not knowing what's going on. And so by that time, they had brought you back down to the emergency ward.
Yeah. Where they had
try to figure out
a little, they have a little, what do you call it?
ICU.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway,
because I was not doing well. They couldn't handle me on the regular ward floor.
Like, you were not able to breathe, and now you're bananas. And they're like, if we have to intubate her, then she's got to go to Winnipeg. We can't deal with her after that.
Yeah, this hospital does not deal with intubations. Yeah, they don't have the equipment. They don't have whatever. So
all of it just seemed like it was taking too long, and so then they had called. I think, and I could be wrong, because like I said, my brain has slowly blocked a lot of this out, but I'm trying to remember if they were saying that did they call for an Airbus before or not until, I know when you're
I have no idea. I was not there.
I can't remember.
That was not me.
Yeah. So the bottom line is a couple of doctors come in and they're trying to decide what they're going to do, whether they're going to intubate, what's going to happen. And I'm watching your stats just plummet.
Fall.
And I'm like, that is getting pretty low. And then another nurse came in and was like, she's coding. What the fuck are you doing? Like, call it. And they hit like code blue, and then you had to be brought back.
Yeah.
And like, so they pulled me out to a quiet room because I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah, something I've never been. I was not aware of the quiet room until now.
Yeah, apparently that's where they put you.
That's new. That's where they put you when your family member is coding or crashing.
Yeah, so I guess they said they brought you back pretty quick. and that they did intubate you and
Yeah, I had to be intubated.
yeah, and so all that. So then I come back and you're like RoboCop. You're like hooked up to a ton of shit, and they're like, we've got the Airbus coming to take her, and as long as there's nothing else more pressing than her.
Yeah, and that was what time was that when they intubated me?
2 maybe in the afternoon, I think.
Oh wow.
Maybe not. Like, I don't know. It all depends, because I think I got there at like 9. I caused the scene. Things went crazy. So maybe by
I caused a scene.
well, maybe by noon ish. Like on it, like during this, I was on point. I knew everything that happened in every time and every moment and everything. But now, like, I don't have that wits about me anymore for like kind of times and dates and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, it's like you're the type of person, and your brain, the way your brain works is like, I don't want to remember this shit. So you push it out and you push it away.
Yeah. So it's tough to say, but anyway, so then hours and hours and hours go by, and I finally get word that they're on their way, they're coming. But there's another person that's out in the hallway that if they're worse, then they're going to take them instead of you. And I was like, are you fucking
There's
kidding
one
me?
person in the hall that if they might be worse. They might have to go first.
Yeah. So they...
and how inefficient is that they can only take one at a time?
Yeah, that's tough. And I get it, but it is tough. But I don't know any.
Like, it's such a tiny little plane.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be in it. Like, yeah, I don't know how you make that better. But anyway,
well, yeah. My thought is, like, if there's a big accident or something, that Airbus can take one person at a time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they can.
Yeah,
they might be able to hire a bigger plane for more stuff. I don't know. But anyway, they get there and they're like, we got to go check this person out. And I'm like, fucking motherfucker. And they're like, we don't think that he's worse. So I'm like, okay. They come back. They get you on the stuff. It was all super interesting.
And I was out this whole time.
Yeah,
I was. They knocked me out.
Yeah, you never quote unquote came back after you came back. Like you.
Yeah,
you were
I was out for
that.
days after that.
So then they're like, are you coming with us? And I'm like, this has been a day and my kids have been at home this whole time. So I want to go and I want to talk to them and reassure them and let them know kind of what's going on. And then I'll get there the next day when I can. So yeah. So I get there, I pack all my stuff, and
you came home and packed your stuff.
Yeah, I came home, told the kids about everything and what the plan was.
You didn't tell them I coded.
No.
You left that part out.
Yeah, no, they didn't need to know that. They know it now. I couldn't tell them at the time. I just said,
that's
she's
great.
not
That's scary.
good.
That's too scary.
They're taking her or whatever. So I pack a bag because I don't know how long this is going to take.
It was actually wonderful how much stuff you brought. It turned out pure perfect.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm just like, well, and like, I don't know. I just figured I would sleep at the hospital.
Yeah.
Because like I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
When you were pregnant, I slept at the hospital.
Yeah, when we had babies, they always let you.
That was the thing. Anyway, so I get there and now you're even more RoboCop. You're hooked up to like 10 machines.
Yeah.
You have so much going on.
I had a central line in my neck. And my fever was so high they had my body packed with ice.
Yeah, they were constantly packing you with ice.
Yeah, lots and lots of machines.
Yeah.
I had a tube down my throat and a tube down my nose tube down my nose. They fed me.
Yeah.
Because I ended up in a coma, a medically induced coma for 6 days.
Yep.
Because on the second day, so I went up there on Wednesday, and so on Thursday they tried to remove my my breathing tube.
Yeah,
because
like I almost feel like I hadn't been there long, and they're like, "Well, she's been breathing great. We're gonna pop that
she's
bitch
breathing
out."
on her own. Let's pull that tube out. Now I don't remember any of this. I just, this is from what he told me before.
Yeah.
And now my recollection of it is better than his.
Well, yeah,
because his mind is like, I don't want to remember it anymore.
Yeah, no, my brain just dumps that stuff. Like, oh, we can't dwell on that. That's scary.
But when I woke up, he literally spent 3 days telling me the same things over and over and over again, because it was like I couldn't keep my memory of what happened.
Well, and the more that we talked, the more like I realized the couple of days that I'd visited you prior, you weren't really there. Like,
yeah, I was not aware.
And you didn't remember me coming to see you that night or any of that stuff. And
No.
like, so there was a whole big section of me being like, what the fuck? Like, how? That's crazy that I couldn't tell that. Like, I just thought you were sick. I couldn't tell that you were like out of it, you know?
I was not there, because like, so everything went bad on Wednesday morning, and on Monday and Tuesday, I can't remember, but either way, they had to diaper me because I could not get up and get to the washroom. So because my legs were just not, like, my body was not working. It was just no. And I did not remember being diapered. And that was one of the things that he was like, are you kidding me? You were diapered for 2 days.
Yeah.
Before, like, and I was like, no, I was fighting him. No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
What are you, crazy? They never had me in diapers.
And and like when I was there, you would be like, help me, like, get up and use the washroom or whatever. And like the first couple of times I did, and it was fine. And then like you just kept getting weaker and weaker, and you're like, okay, I have an idea. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, I'm going to stand on your feet. And I'm like kids do at like a wedding to dance. And you're like, yeah. And so I tried, and it didn't work. And I'm like, sorry. And you're like, it's okay. We tried. You're such a good husband. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. You weren't there.
I wasn't
don't know who the
there.
hell I was talking to.
Because for some reason I thought that you could dance me across the room. 1, 2, like 3, I don't, 1, 2, 3. Weigh almost the same as you.
Yeah,
like, what
I
the
was
hell?
Just like, you know what? I should have then been like, okay, this bitch is crazy. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what the hell she's talking about. So then, yeah, and so one of the hard parts about waiting for you to wake up is me thinking, do you think she really wants to kill me?
Oh,
do you think she really does hate? Like, you were telling me you hate me, you don't love me, blah blah blah, all this kind of crazy stuff. So I'm like, I know, and it's all good, and like we can talk about it now, but it was fucking brutal, man. And so yeah, so slowly I like I said, I was on point. Like when things were happening, I was in the morning meetings, and I was talking to the doctors, and I was telling them this or that and trying to help out any way I could. And I knew all my shit. And now I'm just like, poof, it's not there. But slowly we got to see. So they pop the tube out of you to try to breathe. And then that doesn't go right.
Yeah, everything started coding again.
So then they had to fucking put it back in. And I'm like, well, fuck, that was stupid. Like, I thought it was stupid because I had just gotten there. Like,
yeah, I'd only been tubed
hadn't
for
even been 24 hours.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, it's all good. We did some tests. It's cool. We're going to pop that shit out. Yeah, no, it didn't go so well.
Yeah,
so
it didn't go well.
So then that really fucked everything up, because I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, let's get it out. Let's get her going. And then it was like, no, this is way worse than we thought it was going to be, and blah, blah, blah. And
yeah. Yeah, I don't think the doctors even realized how bad I was until, like,
well, and it's odd really because it was, and that's the part I was struggling with when it came to, like, the doctors were making these calls, and I'm just like, it didn't make sense to me, the calls that they were making. It was only, yeah, so maybe you were worse than that they figured, and I don't know. It was all really weird, because I'm just like, huh? But anyway, so the first night I was there, because after they put the tube back in so you could breathe, I'm like, all right, well, we ain't going anywhere. So I camped out in like the like family room or whatever, which was super weird. There's like people around you while you're sleeping the whole time. I'm like, oh man, please don't rob me. while I'm trying to sleep.
Right?
I'm a deep sleeper. I could wake up naked, like, they took everything. Someone get me one of those gasless gowns.
Hey, I was rocking the gown.
Absolutely. So anyway, I visit the next day. We hang out all day, and then the nurse is like, "Hey, you can't."
I love how he says we hang out all day.
Yeah.
I was unconscious.
Yeah, I was just there,
hooked to all kinds of tubes.
Yeah, and like I didn't know you. They said when you get sedated, the last thing to go is your hearing.
Yeah.
So they're like, talk to her, and you see it in movies all the time. Like if people are in a coma, you talk to them and whatnot. So anything that like the fucking. I think it was like the Briar Cup or fucking Scotty's Tournament of Hearts or something. Either way, there was curling on, and I was play-by-playing every single. And now they're throwing it down the rock and here, and like everything to just kind of
talk to you, could.
just to keep saying words, and
I do not remember any of that.
Which now it was a giant waste of time.
Giant waste of your voice, but
oh man,
I do remember like. You telling me to open my eyes and being excited and happy and stuff like that. And and it was so strange because I wasn't aware of what had happened to me. I didn't know why I was in the predicament I was. And I was very confused. Once I started being aware a little bit of what was going on, I didn't know what was happening to me. I could hear things and like you said, the last thing that goes is your hearing. But I didn't start hearing things until the fifth or sixth day.
Yeah.
But I remember them telling me that they're going to roll me over and move me into a different position. And, I remember them telling me, they combed my hair at one point and they would do like that fake bath or whatever. Yeah, they didn't do that until the end. Or did they do that while I was unconscious?
I think they did that while you were unconscious.
Well, I don't remember any of that.
Well, of course not.
But anyway,
you were unconscious.
It was so strange to me for you to be so happy for me to open my eyes, and it was so difficult to do so. Like I just remember you squeezing my hand and saying, "Open your eyes. Can you open your eyes?" And when I finally could do it, you looked glossy and glowy, like you almost look like an angel. And
so my everyday appearance, I know.
You were so happy when I opened my eyes, but I could only open my eyes for a couple of seconds at a time.
Yeah.
But I started squeezing your hand back, and then you were so happy that I was squeezing your hand. And it was the most bizarre feeling of floating in unit, like in nothingness. Like I felt like I was just, I wasn't a body anymore. Like it was so strange.
I can't imagine. And like, that's great. So before you started to come to, so the second night is when I get told, no, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I forgot about that.
No, it's okay. And I'm like, I don't have anywhere to go. What the fuck? So,
I'm in a city that I have I have nothing. I don't have any people here. Yeah. I don't know anywhere. I don't even know where the fuck I am right now.
So then like the charge nurse is talking to me and she's like, you can't hang out. This isn't a hotel. I'm like, well, no shit, bitch. Like, but I'm in my mind. I'm like, when we had babies, that was cool. And she's just sitting there. Why can't I just... The fuck? I don't take up that much room.
I know I was in a huge room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you were in a much smaller room when we had babies. It was okay. Yes. You had a fucking penthouse suite, and they're like, no, and I'm like, man, I got no money or fucking plans, man. So then, next thing I know, the head of the hospital and the charge nurse, and then a guidance counselor or something was there with them, some sort of person to help me with my feelings. Because like they're like, you can't be here, and I'm like, look, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. Do you want me to go fucking sell my ass on the corner to be able to pay for something?
And
like,
plus, you were like, I want to stay with her.
yeah, like it's been like I wanted to be like, sit the fuck down.
Unconscious wife
Since
with ice
November,
packs
I've
all
had,
over her.
Yeah, like just life has been really fucking tough. The last thing I want to do is not
Tubes
be around.
in my neck, man.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's when I ended up starting a GoFundMe, which I thought was just stupid. I was like,
yeah, a couple of friends encouraged you to do so.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever, because one, I'm embarrassed, to ask. The first thing, if anybody knows me, I don't ask for shit.
You never ask for help.
I don't ask for help. I've never asked for help. So yeah, it was really.
You're a one man. I can do all.
I am an army, and I will do it on my own.
And you usually are great. You usually have it all.
Usually I can figure it out. This
Exactly.
was like the universe was like, nah, fam, this isn't.
No,
gonna
you're
work.
fucked.
So then there's that, but then there's also like, how pathetic would it be if I did put this up and nobody gave any pledges? And then I'm just like, Jesus, that'd be embarrassing. Hey, hon, don't wake up because we have no fucking money. Like,
don't wake up.
You don't want to.
You stay sleeping,
you don't want to be
bitch.
part of this reality. But it actually went really well. And like I thanked everybody as it happened. I want to show a big thank you to everybody that did.
Anyone who's listening who contributed or anything. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Never know how much it meant.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how much pressure it took off me to try to figure that shit out. So thank you so much.
And then you just could take all your concentration on your wife that was dying.
Exactly. Instead of like, because I was starting to think, well, fuck, now I'm gonna have to like find empty rooms to try to sleep in this hospital.
Yeah,
and not get caught.
Not get caught.
Like, fuck, some stairwells or something. Like, fucking, it's winter, so I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
sleep
it was February.
outside.
It was very cold.
But anyway, didn't have to. A lot of amazing people that I've never met, people that I knew in high school, people that I still talk to,
distant relatives,
like all kinds of people. So
people.
many amazing people.
A lot of amazing people. Thank you so much.
I can never thank you enough. Thank you so much. Anyway, so the day you start to come to, that's when. So every day they're kind of lowering your sedation.
Yeah, they were lowering the sedation,
and they were worried that not just what you had gone through, but also the medication you were on was causing the delirium. And that's why, like, you would start to flatline or whatever when you were coming out of it, because you would panic, you would freak out or whatever. So they were slowly lowering the sedation and the pain meds and all that stuff to try to like level you out. So when you did come out, you would be you, not the version of you that went to sleep. And so they're like, what can we do? What is she like? And I'm like, well, I could play your music. And they're like, that's a fucking sweet idea. I'm like, fuck
perfect
yeah.
idea. Play
so
music.
then I just started playing your playlist on your phone. I just put it like kind of by your head, and then like a couple different jams come on. Like Wilson Phillips came on. Was it Hold On?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start kind of shaking your ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay. And I'm like, do you like this song? And you shook your head yes. And like before then there was nothing. You were just chilling.
Yeah, before then I didn't answer anything other than I would squeeze your hand.
Rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely. Every once in a while you would kind of open your eyes and I'd tell you to squeeze my hand, and a couple of times you did.
Yeah, I only remember opening my eyes a couple times.
Yeah. And then anyway, so yeah, and then like Billie Eilish, Bad Guy came on. You started dancing to that. And yeah, so it was like a really good day of like,
yeah, it was pretty cool.
It felt like you were kind of coming in and out, but you seemed happy. You were dancing and you were smiling. And
yeah, it was me.
You were you.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, I got to go home. Or well, home.
Home. You got to go out for the night.
The place to stay.
When did they kick you out? Like 10?
Yeah, I think 10 it was the end or whatever. And so then I went and I slept in the what the hell is it called?
You had an
Airbnb.
Airbnb, yeah, that's right.
And
you ended up getting an Airbnb.
Yeah, and it was a nice little place, decent price. It was kind of a ways away from the hospital, but it's all good. We figured it out. But yeah, and so then I came back that
in
morning.
the morning.
Yeah, and then that's kind of when you were...
When I was aware of... Yeah. So the thing that really kind of ticked me off after, like, everything is said and done, they woke me up pretty much in the middle of the night. Like, I was up and aware by 4. I was alert.
That's
like, and they started, like, they were brushing my teeth at like 4:30 in the morning, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" So like, I'm aware, I'm alert, and I'm aware, but I still have a tube down my throat and a tube down my nose, and they had me tied down because apparently I was I was tugging on the tubes all the time. Even like fully sedated, I was pulling on the tubes.
Yeah, they had to have you strapped in. And then the only time they didn't is when I was there. And that's because I could like slap your hands away or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is so crazy. Like, I was fully sedated. I don't remember anything, but I was still trying to pull the tubes out of my mouth and nose.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody does that or what, but
yeah,
it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
It gave you a little bit of entertainment out of the whole deal.
Like, to me, it was like, okay, like, I don't know. It just makes you feel like, all right, she's coming back.
Oh, you made it. You for you, it was like she's fighting. She's still there.
Kind of,
yeah, that's good. I guess. And
yeah. So then I show up and you're like wide awake.
Yeah, wide awake.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd been awake for hours because I was like, when I'm awake. I can't talk. I can't communicate. So, and they had my hands tied down.
Right.
So I kept kicking the bottom of the bed to get their attention. And I was rowdy because I did that. And because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know where I was, why I was there. Like where Sean was, who these people are. Yeah. Like,
I couldn't imagine going through that. I have no idea.
Well, yeah. And like, I couldn't. And then they were angry with me that I was kicking the bottom of my bed. Like, fuck you. I don't know where I am. Like,
you might be trying to harvest my organs, bitch. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I is. But yeah, so as soon as I show up, you were kicking the bed like you were trying to jump. You were so happy to see me.
Yeah.
And then you're like, where am I?
Yeah. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
What is this? Because they kept I finally got like, somehow I communicated to the nurse, like, husband, where is my husband? And she was it turns out she was a wonderful, wonderful nurse, but she's Chinese and she was very loud. She was always like stern and loud.
Yeah.
And I remembered it as like her screaming at me, like, your husband needs to rest too. He's at an Airbnb. He will be back in the morning. But like, she was screaming at me in my world, you know?
Yeah. Which was so weird because she had been really cool the whole time. But
like, I didn't know her until then.
And that's why she was loud and she like kind of gruff, but she was always very nice. So anyway, you were like, I am afraid of her.
I was terrified of her.
I'm like, the sweetheart? And
once they finally took the tube out of my throat or my, whatever, I was like, please don't let that nurse come anywhere near me. I'm so scared of her. Like, she was terrifying. But then
I started thinking like, man, she was really cool. But like, when I leave, do they abuse you? Like,
well, yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I remember her being very, very loud and mean. But anyway, then she was a sweetheart once I was awake and everything
she was again your night nurse, and you were like, you are not leaving my side because she is going to kill me. And I was like, okay. But then she came in and she's like, he's staying. And we're like, oh, okay.
You skipped a whole part.
Go ahead.
Well, so I'm awake, and so I had to go a whole day with the tube in.
Yeah.
And tube down my nose, tube down my throat. So that really fucking sucked. And a catheter, which I always hate. I've never ever been like comfortable with a catheter.
Please give me a catheter.
Well, I guess that's true.
There's maybe, you know what? Never say never. There could be some freaky bastards out there. They're like, hey, you want to fucking get high in this absinthe and give each other catheters? Like, fuck yeah, bud.
You're so weird. So anyway, they took the catheter out first, and that was lovely because then I could kind of get up and, or no, the catheter was the last thing to come out. I'm sorry. So they took the nose, the like feeding part out, and the tube part out. And oh my goodness, like I don't know how many people listening have been intubated for long enough that it affects your throat. Because like intubation for surgeries and stuff, it doesn't really ever harm you because it's a very, very quick. But I have been intubated for 7-8 days at this point. Yeah. I have no idea. And so they finally get it out, and it's like I could not believe how difficult it was to swallow. You were
like cocky as shit. You're like,
I was like, I need water. I was so thirsty. Yeah. My lips, oh my God, were so bad. They were so chapped. I had a huge laceration inside my lip from a tube, I guess. I don't know. And people, you could probably hear that I have damage to my vocal cords as well.
Anybody that's listened to us for a while, they're not gonna.
Yeah. When I'm not sick right now. When I laugh and stuff, it sounds like I'm sick.
Yeah, this is her voice.
That's my voice. That's how it is for always and ever, I think. Anyway, so yeah, we've had to just, take another lump on that one. But so yeah, they finally get everything out, and she's like, "Oh, we'll start you with ice chips because it's easier." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so I get him in my mouth, and oh my God, it's the best feeling in the world. Like,
one more time, what was that?
What?
I
get the ice chips in my mouth.
No, I got them in my mouth.
I got them in my mouth, and it was the most amazing thing.
Slow that down.
You're disgusting.
But yeah, and then right away she's like, "Give me some water." I'm like, she said ice chips. She's like, "I can do water." I'm like, psh.
No, I could not.
She tried water and choked like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh God, I choked. Oh man.
Yeah, it was like the first. It's crazy because it was literally like the first time you've ever tried to drink.
Yeah. Like, it was crazy. It's like my throat doesn't work. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm telling it to do what it normally should do, and it is not doing what it's supposed to do.
No, it's not throating.
My throat is not throating.
Yeah, and so then you go back to the ice chips, and then you're like, all right, give me the water again. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
We have to retrain her how to
drink. It took me, I think, 2 days before I was eating anything and drinking properly. The first night she gave me Jell-O. Oh my God, that was so amazing.
Jell-O became your cocaine.
God, it was so good because it's Jell-O, so it was cold and it was refreshing, had a little bit of flavor to it, but then it went down my throat so easily, and it didn't hurt, and it didn't make me cough and sputter like water and ice chips were. But so I spent, I don't know, 2-3 days in the ICU after they took out all the tubes, and I think 2 days. And then they put me in a room with an old man who ended up having RSV, which is a respiratory infection that is very, very dangerous, especially for someone who's just gone through.
Just come back.
Because, bilateral pneumonia. Hello. So that was an issue. So then I had to be they put me in quarantine for, what was it, 5 days or 6 days?
Something like that.
6 days, I think. I was in a big hospital room that they would normally have 2 beds in. But it was just me. And Sean was the only person that was allowed to come in other than nurses and doctors. And nurses and doctors had to gown up and glove and mask the entire time.
Whole thing.
That they were in with me. And it was like fucking weird and scary and just stupid.
And it was. And they didn't really kind of tell us anything about it. They made it seem like because they fucked up, they put us in that room. But then we realized, no, wait, it's like we're in quarantine.
Yeah.
And it was just all of it was really fucking weird. And then we ended up coming back. Like, am I skipping anything? If I go,
It was a long.
It was just everything was like I don't want to be.
I had to learn how to walk again.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot about my fall.
Oh yeah. So remember the bug that we talked about in
Ontario?
When we were staying there. Anyway, so she's just starting to
walk around. I had a walker.
Able to walk, with a walker, and she needed to go to the washroom.
When I woke up, my legs and arms and my feet and hands, of course, were so swollen, so much fluid. My feet ached because they were so full of fluid, and my hands did not look like my hands. It was like these are somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
So they finally let me start getting up to go use the washroom. So it was like, I don't know, 10, 15 steps back and forth. And I had a walker to do so. And they were just letting Sean help me. They got pretty lax because you were there. So a nurse was just he can help you.
Fuck off for a bit, yeah.
I started walking with the walker, and I turned around the corner where his wheelchair was.
Yeah.
And there was something on the ground, and it freaked me out. It scared me, startled me. So I tried to backpedal, to backstep. Well, I was not physically able to
your
backpedal.
legs weren't working.
My legs were not working properly.
You tried an advanced move.
Yeah.
Someone who was just learning to walk.
I'm just
Demon Bob.
I'm just starting to be able to backpedal now.
Yeah. So she thought she saw a bug. She kind of backpedaled. Her legs didn't work.
Yeah, my legs didn't work. I fell really, really hard on my left butt cheek. Buttocks. And then I hit my head decently hit my head on my bed.
Yeah.
In the room. And that was.
So that set everything back a little bit. We were on the healing train, and then what she thought was a demon bug, which was nothing. It was a piece of paper or something like that.
Which happens quite often since I was extubated.
And that's another thing. And this is actually going pretty long. Most of our shows probably aren't going to be an hour and a half. But we're not going to put a time limit on it. Whatever it is what it is. But it ended up putting things back a little bit further because
I fell and now
because you fell and then we got put in there and then put in quarantine, and then we ended up getting airlifted back to
Thompson.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Where we live.
Yeah.
You can bleep it out if you want.
Sure. But anyway, we get back here and
to the tiny little hospital,
and they stick us back in quarantine immediately. And
they wouldn't let me see my kids, which broke my heart because I hadn't seen
horrible.
them in so long. I'd almost died. I was in a coma for 6-7 days, and then when I finally get back to my kids.
You're so close.
Well, it's been 20 days or something by now, and I know it had been that long when we were away in Ontario, but we had FaceTime and all that other stuff, right? It wasn't the same, and I wasn't sick. It's just not the same.
No, it's not the same at all. But so we were like, fuck that. And we came home, and it's been a long process of trying to fix your voice, trying to get you to be able to walk.
My voice was so much worse. I had
at least you can talk. You had nothing. And this is kind of impressive. And another reason that our shows probably aren't going to be this long as normal.
And that's probably why I'm starting to cough.
And that's what I was thinking
I'm talking too much.
This is the most that she has talked straight in months.
Months.
So so the last couple of months.
But I get this freakish tickle in my throat that just I can't fucking explain. It makes my eyes water.
When she was sleeping, she would try to sleep.
I'd wake up in the middle of the night, hacking and coughing.
Anyway,
it's been a road.
Yeah, so the last couple of months have been road of recovery. Purely rehab, and you've come a long way. You still have a long way to go, which is unfortunate.
I do.
Because you were pretty much disabled beforehand, and you are definitely disabled.
I'm definitely physically disabled now.
Yeah, and
I walk like a Baby duck. Is that what you called it?
Yeah, well, yeah, because you do like a little flipper flop when you walk.
Yeah, like I'm a big girl. I've always been a plus size girl, but I've always been very I've always been very light footed, graceful. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I can sneak up on you.
You were a sneaky bitch for a heavy chick. That's what.
Yeah,
is that
like
what
I could sneak up on you. I was always very graceful and light footed, but I know I'm not now. I'm like a baby duck.
Yeah. Pop. But
yeah, you can hear me coming.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like it's been a long journey. So yeah, that's where we've been for the last couple of months.
So hi.
Yeah. The problem is us.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the problem. It's me. I'm aware.
Yeah. So anyway, we are sharers. We have no problem.
Yeah, we talk almost everything about our life. Everything's an open book.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, why? Who gives a shit? Whatever. But yeah, so that's where we've been, and so we started to talk with my buddy James about maybe getting back into this, and so he was starting a new website, and he was like, hey, if you guys ever want to get back into it, like, I just want to let you know that I would be down to house it and get
I was like, yes.
Yeah, MDI, because I thought, we're done. She's not going to want to do this anymore.
No, I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah, so she's ready to rock. So yeah, nftfyb.com is where you're going to be able to find all of our stuff. We're still working out all the details. I don't know when this is going to go out. Originally, it's going to go out to the website. So if you want, head over to the website, check it out again, nftfyb.com. And I'm going to start doing blogs over there, and it's not just us. There's a few different shows that are all going to be housed over there. So, you never know, you're going to hopefully find a group of shows that you enjoy.
Hell yeah.
And you're going to want to check out, as well.
We'll be the best though, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
Sorry.
Of course. Fuck them. We'll bring it. But I'm also bringing back Horror in the Pit, which is my show.
Hey, you can't advertise your
show. I'm not advertising. I gotta send the word.
Oh, that's not fair.
But anybody that was a fan of
okay, well, you better advertise my show on your show.
No, not chance. Girl, that's still my show. I'm on both. Of course, I'm going to be spreading the word. But either way, Horror in the Pit is for anybody who liked Fearcast that I used to do. It's going to be reviewing movies and horror, as well as
music
and different things. And I've already been in talks with some of my buds to come on. And
yeah, absolutely.
We're going to
bring back some of the OGs.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see. And I've got a bunch of writing projects on the go that I really need to get working on. And so yeah, you can probably check out the website. I know to maybe get updates on that sort of stuff. But either way, that's where you're going to be able to find us. And then once we get going, we'll be on iTunes and all that good stuff. And I'm sure you'll be able to find us on our YouTube channel and whatnot. Everything is going to be in the show notes. So feel free to just click along and subscribe on all the things.
Vin's getting up. He's had enough. He's got to go outside.
No, I think we should wrap it up. We did have some more stuff we were going to do, but we're at like the hour and a half mark.
Well, next time.
So next time we're going to do just like we used to do. We're probably going to talk. There's always going to be personal stories. But then we're also going to talk about shit that's in the news or
crazy shit we found on the internet.
Crazy stuff that's on the internet. If there's any videos, any articles that you think that we should see,
it's going to be funnier than this one, I swear.
Absolutely. This, like I said, don't judge it on this. This is just months of trauma.
Yeah,
that
so much.
We just needed to get out there so that we can all move together, get back to the funny. But yeah, I think that's it. If you search FYFC Studios on everything, you'll find us. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Fuck Twitter. I'm on it, but fuck Twitter.
I'm not. I'm done.
No, I think
fuck Twitter.
I think Elon's gonna burn that to the ground. So whatever. But for the most part, you're gonna want to go to nftfyb.com and check everything there. But yeah, I think that's it. Is that it? You're good?
I'm good.
Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.